All right. Welcome to another Unfiltered Fridays on the Consistency Corner podcast. My friend Jenny Zook is here, and I'm super excited for this conversation because she is one of those girlfriends that I can totally send unfiltered texts to, or voice messages, or Instagram notes. And I know she gets it. And so I'm excited to have a real life conversation about all the things. Particularly, we're going to dive into the world of shopping because we both love to shop, and she is a style teacher, which I love that title. And we're both moms of second graders, boy mom life. And so I'm sure we'll get into all of those things as well. But Jenny, thank you so much for being here on Unfiltered Fridays.
I am so excited. I feel like I could do a better job of living my life more unfiltered. So I just love this concept so much.
Yeah, it's one of those things that I remember early in the summer, like reading something or seeing content on social, and I've seen it for years probably, of like, be yourself, be your authentic self. And I'm like, I do think we all have layers of our authentic selves. Of like, you have when you first meet somebody, you're your authentic self, but you're probably a little bit more filtered to create that first impression. And
Hmm.
then as you get to know people and you get comfortable with them, you maybe take some of those layers off and you get a little bit bolder, or you get a little bit spicier, or you're willing to share with them what you really think sometimes.
Absolutely. And I
Yeah.
do think we're sort of trained that way, right? Like put your best foot forward, be polished, or sometimes even like be really professional. And your professional self might look a little bit different than your personal self. And I think there's a time and place for all of those things. But I also just really appreciate people, you know, flying their free flags and showing their true colors. And, that's where the magic happens, in my opinion.
Yeah, and being authentic and knowing that, like, when we meet somebody, whether we meet them in person or we meet them on the internet, like, you're seeing a snippet of the story. Like, we all have to, I think, remind ourselves that we don't ever truly know the whole story and see the whole story, because humans are complex and there's a lot to know about people.
Absolutely. I mean, I think that's probably true to say even of like your spouse,
Hmm.
right? I mean, you like there's so many layers to the human, and I think that's kind of a beautiful thing because it allows us to keep learning new things about ourselves and about each other.
Yeah. And from a evolution perspective too, and learning, like, we can evolve as people. Like, who you were 5 years ago doesn't have to be who you are today. And I know there's a lot of people that get hung up with that, of like, their audience will be like, well, that's not who you used to be. It's like, okay, well, I grew. I as a
Yep.
human, and that's okay. And I
Yep.
know, you teach a lot around fashion and style, and that definitely happens with our clothes. Like,
Oh my
what we
gosh.
wore in high school is probably not serving who we are today in our 40s.
It most definitely is not all. However, it's back. Like
I was
all
just
of
about
our
to
high
say,
school.
low
I mean,
rise
yeah.
flares are
Oh
back.
geez. I mean, the like the dresses with the t-shirt underneath and the like crop top. I mean, the baggy jeans. All of like literally, it's like high school is coming back to haunt us.
Yes. And it's like, I remember when we were in high school, you would have like 70s day, and like now people are having 90s day.
Yeah. 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 Like it's happening, and it's really interesting because, you know, being that I still work in a public school and it's middle school, and man, that like it's in my face. I'm like, oh my
Hmm.
God, you're literally wearing the outfit that I wore in high school. And it's so funny, but yeah, fashion is definitely that way. It's cyclical.
Yeah.
Um, and
Do you
it's
follow the Holderness family?
no.
Okay, so they're a YouTube family. And
Oh.
they do like parody songs.
Oh,
I
maybe
found
I
them.
know. I think I know who you're
You probably
talking
know the
about. They're
dad is
really
like,
funny.
they're really funny. The dad's name is Penn. I don't remember the mom's name. He has gray hair. She's a blonde. They did a whole like suburban mom side kit, like, which is totally, you'd think it's hilarious because she talks about her Stanley and her Lululemons and her
Oh
crossbody
my.
bag and like, like,
Yeah, I gotta see that one.
yes,
Oh
I'll
man.
send it to you. I'll find it. I'll put it in the show notes too so everybody can see it. But she did a video with her daughter, who's probably in high school age, somewhere around there. And they talked about how the mom used to do her makeup when she was her daughter's age. And it was like that total like 90s makeup, like super matte, like
And
brown lip liner,
like
really
white
skinny
eyeshadow.
eyebrows, white eyeshadow. And then her daughter did like how she does her makeup today. And just like the evolution and change.
Crazy. It is crazy.
Yes, yes. But our style and fashion, and if you love to shop, like I freaking love to shop. I worked in retail forever. I love shopping. I love buying clothes. Somebody, maybe it was you that said it, like some people collect, trinkets. I collect clothes. Like,
I definitely collect clothes, but as you well know, I got rules around my clothes collection and things like that because it can totally get out of hand. But I I love to shop. Oh man, I just love it so much. I know that is not true for a lot of women, but it. I don't know, it just brings me such joy, especially when you find really good, really good items. Things that you put on your body and you're like, well, hello. You
mhm,
know, um, I don't know. I just love that. I do think it's like you get a dopamine hit
mhm.
when you find good stuff. I know like a lot of women probably don't associate those things together because shopping doesn't bring a lot of women joy, which makes me absolutely batshit crazy because of the way that we have been trained to think about our bodies and how clothes should fit and what size we should be and all of that. But the clothes that when you do put them on and they make you feel a certain way, I just think it's so much fun.
Yeah, and that's something that as we get older and we have kids and our lives change and our bodies change, you have
Hmm.
to like learn how to dress the body that you have today because it's not the body that you had in high school. It's not the body that you had before kids. And it's an evolution to figure that out.
Yeah, yeah, I think so. I think that that's like a twofold thing, right? Like there is some there's some rewiring that has to
Mhm.
happen internally. However, when you learn the things about your body, when you learn the things about how clothes are made, you can use clothes to help you rewire.
Mhm.
I think a lot of women think, well, I don't, I'm carrying, weight in a different place and things have shifted around, or I'm a size or two bigger than I, have ever been in my life. And therefore, clothes just aren't going to look good on me. Right. And I'm going to tell myself a story because of that. And I think it's almost, you can like backwards design it where if you learn the things about your new shape or the new size or whatever and you find the right clothes, they can do the same thing for you today as they did in high school.
Mhm.
um it's just learning those skills.
Yeah. And that editing, like I know you talk a lot about editing your closet, but gosh, we put so much like emotional value into some of
Oh
our
my
clothes.
gosh,
And it's hard, right?
it is it yeah. But I think that goes back to the why are you so emotionally attached to
Mhm.
those clothes? You're probably emotionally attached to those clothes because they remind you of a time in your life when,
Mhm.
or a size you were that you wish that you could be again. And it's a story. Like
Yeah.
they're stories, right? So we get attached to these things. And the sad thing is most people aren't keeping things in their closet because they make them feel happy.
Mhm.
I think there are some. I think there's probably some, but I think the majority of people are keeping clothes in their closet that they have like they have wishes around
Yeah.
them.
Or a lot of times I think it's I spent money on this thing,
Yes.
so I'm
Yes.
gonna keep it. Like I can tell you, I mean, you and I have talked about this and I've shared it on the podcast when I had Kathy on and we talked about health and fitness. Like I've gained a lot of weight between
Yeah.
breaking my leg and corporate burnout and all these things. Like I've gained a lot of weight. I have probably 6 drawers, no joke, of underwear and bras that no longer fit me. Now, granted, guys, I worked for Victoria's Secret for 15 years, so I got discounts on all this stuff, but I have a lot of bras and a lot of underwear, like more than a normal person. I'm freely admit that. I have a lot, okay?
I am well aware of the situation.
Right. Don't need
at hand.
anybody's judgment there. We know. But I now, for the first time in my life, like have to buy underwear in a large instead of a medium. And so like all these drawers of underwear, I'm like, oh my God, but none of those fit. But like I spent money on those. But
Yes.
it's not helping me every time I walk in my closet and see the Rubbermaid bin with 3 drawers of panties that don't fit.
Right. So here's what I will say about that. I do think, you know, there is a conversation to be had when you have a worthy like investment that has been made, whatever the clothing item is, if you are you have intentions of changing your body in any way, shape, or form, right? Um, they just don't. I think they can be put away. They probably shouldn't be visible
Mm-hmm.
because I don't think they help you reach your goals. And nor do they give you happy feelings when you're going to get dressed every single day. Um, give yourself a certain amount of time and say, okay, in the next 6 months, maybe a year, because we also know as we get older, these things do not happen overnight. If you
Mm-hmm.
are working towards a goal, um, and let's see what happens, and then I can decide. Especially something like undergarments because they're not going in and out of style,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Well, I'll caveat that by saying my underwear have changed significantly, probably in the past 2 years because high waisted pants. And
Yeah.
I hate wearing low cut underwear with high waisted things because I just don't like how it like cuts your body in different ways. Um, so uh, that's my caveat about.
Where do you find high-waisted underwear? Because I've never even seen
Ooh,
it.
oh girl, what? It's in style school. What you talking
Oh, I
about?
guess I haven't looked. I didn't look at the
Okay.
underwear because I used to sell underwear all the
Okay,
time.
so here's the scoop. Okay, hold on. I'm going to circle back to the underwear conversation
Okay.
because I want to finish off this piece about the clothes that are sending you nasty grams that are living in your closet, in a bin, in a drawer, wherever they are. When you look at them and they tell you you're not there yet, you still need to lose 5 pounds or whatever it is, the story it is, get them out of your line of sight. And if they were an investment, set yourself a goal and come back to them. And if they're still in style and you like them and you've reached your goal and you're like, okay, I can get back into these, great. If you find yourself a year from now and you're still in the same place, that's a sign that you're probably not going to shift that much in that direction. And it's time to get rid of them. All right. Underwear. So I got a whole tutorial on this because here's what happens. A lot of us women wear thongs, right? I like thongs because I don't like panty lines.
Mm-hmm.
Are there briefs that don't have panty lines? Yes. I just don't like them. So I wear thongs. But this rule applies regardless. But majority of women who wear thongs is because they don't want panty lines.
Mm-hmm.
When you are wearing low cut thongs underneath high waisted pants, you're now cutting your body off. It's like defeating the purpose almost of wearing a high waisted pant
Mm-hmm.
because now underneath your clothes, I got panty lines in the front.
Yes. Yes.
And frankly, that's the area where I already have lumps and bumps and scars
Yeah.
and like then I'm throwing this big band that's going across my waist, and my pant is supposed to be creating like some smoothness in that area of my body, and so I just won't do that. I will not wear the low cut. So I do think that there are some trends to think about when it comes to underwear, but for by and large, you can come back to those a year from now or 6 months from now and see, is this a possibility? Is this worth something I should keep, even though I spent the money, or is it time to say goodbye to them for good?
Yeah. And the thing about bras, like I even know this as somebody who sells bras, like they don't last forever. Whether they fit or not, they don't last forever. Like you cannot keep a bra for 20 years. It's not a jean jacket. It's not boots or, a statement purse or whatever. So you've got to edit and that's okay. And you just have to like let go. And I remember somebody telling me years ago, thinking about the cost per wear. So like you might think like, oh, I spent $100 on this thing, whatever it is. Okay, but how many times did you wear it? You got your money's worth. Like, it's okay.
Exactly.
So, yes, undergarments, like, we can take a pause. We can put them in the other room. Even clothes that we wear regularly, we can put in the other room. But I do love what you're saying about like thinking about what you're wearing under your clothes, because that makes a huge difference in the way your clothes look.
It really, really does. And I will tell you, like, I spent a very long time trying to find the right things because even if you're spending a ton of money, and I love the cost per wear conversation, by the way, um, because there are things that are so worthy of spending the money on, bras being one of them, um, denim being one of them, because yes, maybe it was $150, but if you're wearing them 3, 4 times a week, like, come on, you're spending very little money every time you wear those items. Um, but I do think there are some really great pieces that you can wear underneath clothes that I feel like if you're wearing something underneath your clothes, nobody should know about it.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I want no one to know what's going on underneath here. And so I spent a lot of time, all the ads that are coming from Instagram and all the like, there's a lot of these like super niche companies that are, targeting us and wanting us to try their bras and wanting us to try their underwear. And so I curated a list of my favorites over the course of the last probably 3 years. And I will tell you, my favorite underwear I found on Amazon. And Ruthie knows I am not a huge Amazon pusher. I just am not. I think there's a time and place for it, but it is not the time. It's not all the time, and I don't have a ton from Amazon. But underwear are those things that don't last a super long time. Well, what I was on the hunt for is finding the right high-waisted thong that is also going to give me a little bit of structure on my tummy,
Mm-hmm.
to sort of smooth and flatten that area, because a lot of the high waist, there's this territory where like you don't want to accentuate it, right? You want some like control top almost, but I tried all the control tops out there, and some of them create more lines around your waist, like they suck you in so much that you're like, now I have a muffin top.
Yeah, I found that with I bought some like shapewear tanks, but
Uh-huh.
then like where they cut off
Where
at
they
the
end, you're
bottom,
like,
it's like, this
cool,
is
now I look like a stuffed
terrible.
sausage.
Yes.
Like, I don't need that. No, I
Yes.
don't need that. So these are like the happy medium of like a little bit of a control top, but they're not hugging in on your waist where there's any squishy, so that it like smooths instead of like cuts in. And
Yeah.
so anyway, yeah, you do have to pay a lot of attention to what's going on underneath. So your clothes, what you're wearing underneath isn't detracting from what the clothes are designed to do for your body.
Yeah. So let's talk about style school for a second, because I want
All right.
everybody to know like how amazing it is, and how when you have these thoughts, you're getting dressed in the morning of like, what do I wear under this? Does this go with this? Should I tuck it in? Should I not tuck it in? Like, that's why you created style school, so that people can ask you that. And it's
Yes,
genius.
because like if you've never been, have you ever like, and I know not everybody has one of these people in their lives, but if there's someone who is like your trusted go-to like style buddy, shopping buddy, who if you could go shopping with them all the time, you would like everything would look right and you would feel good in your clothes. That's what I'm after with style school. Yes, I want to teach you. I also teach the lessons, right? Of all of these things that I've learned over years and years and years of just helping women get dressed and feel good in their clothes. So I want to teach you those skills, but then also sometimes you just need that, you need to ask that question. And because a lot of women don't have that like person they can pick up, the phone or send a quick text message of like, does this look right on me? Not everybody has that person. And I want it, like, I would love to be that person to just say, do this, do that, because sometimes doing those little
Okay. Now, can you have my phone? Yeah. I don't know where it is, but if you can find it, sure. Okay. Oh my gosh.
gotta love it. You just gotta love it.
Yeah, we're not even going to edit that one out. It's my podcast.
Yeah,
It's fine,
just
guys.
real life
Noah was
people.
here, real life. He's asking for my phone.
Yeah. Um, Uh,
So yes, somebody that you
having
can
that
text,
person.
because let me
Yes.
ask you, a lot of us, you know who we ask? Our husbands. They have no idea.
They don't know what's going on.
That is
Let
not
me
the
tell
person to
you.
ask.
No, no. My husband is like, and what are you wearing today? And I'm like, you don't need, like, this isn't for you. You don't need to, you don't have to approve of this. I know what I'm doing. And I got permission from my style teacher. Thank you very much. She knows what's up.
Yes, my husband very much. We had a conversation in style school the other night about how to style bike shorts. My husband is on team no bike shorts. He's like, those are dumb. I don't like them. I'm like, I didn't ask you.
Right. Yeah. I'm sorry. This is what I'm wearing today. Um,
Yes.
yeah, so that's the whole purpose behind having that place where you can just ask the questions and get like an educated response. And there's a lot of other women in there too that are like, hey, or like, I think this or I think that, or oh, I have that same issue. I would love to learn, learn how to do that also, because it can feel like a little bit of a mystery.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And you don't know what you don't know, especially as your body changes, as fashion changes. And here's the thing about clothes. We all have to wear them every
Yeah,
day.
we all have to wear
So
them, but
we might as well make it
but you
fun.
don't have to follow or believe everything you see from the retailers from a marketing standpoint. As
Hmm.
you well know, uh, there's a lot of tricks going on behind the scenes to try to get you to think low cut jeans are back and they're going to look good on everybody. That is a freaking lie. No, that is not true. They don't look good on everybody. Stop trying to sell me another pair
Right
of something that you don't
here.
need.
Yeah. Yeah, and if you end up buying all these things because they're on trend and then they just sit in your closet and they take up space, you go in to decide what am I going to wear, and I cannot tell you how many times I have walked in my closet and said, I hate all my clothes. Well, that's
Mm-hmm.
not true because I bought them, so I don't hate them.
Right.
But when you're buying things because an ad told you, or a salesperson told you, or a mannequin told you this is the thing that you need, or an influencer
Mhm.
told
I was
you,
going to say, or an influencer told you that this is the thing that you need. Yeah.
and the thing is too, to remember with influencers, especially as it's grown over the years, is that when it looks like everybody's wearing the same sweater from Nordstrom, it's because they are, because Nordstrom paid them to wear it.
Yes. Yeah. Or yeah. Or when they are all doing the same, try on of the same items, or it's because they're making bank because such and such retailer is having a sale. And now we're all doing try ons like for the
Hmm.
same retailer. I mean, there's a method to that madness. And I think, and they don't even keep half of that stuff. They
Right.
don't even wear half of that stuff. You see it in the video and they probably return it all.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it makes me crazy.
Yeah. And that's what you're talking about, not keeping it. One of the like kind of insider secrets that you share is to look on Poshmark and Mercari and get stuff secondhand, because you can get stuff that's like a good percentage off of what you'd pay retail by buying it
Absolutely.
secondhand.
Absolutely. And like, let's be honest, like that is such a better sustainable model for
Hmm.
your bank account, for our planet. And I do it all the time, especially for things that I consider high ticket items, which are like, high end denim or Spanx. Like, by the way, if you don't know about Spanx clothes, you need to know about Spanx clothing because Sarah Blakely is a freaking genius. Um, and she knows women's bodies so, so well that her clothes are just cut so beautifully to flatter women's figures, but they are not cheap.
Hmm.
And a lot of people can't afford $170 pair of pants, even if you're going to wear them every week of the year, right? It's
Yeah.
still a lot of money. And when you can go find them on something like Poshmark, it's a win-win.
Yeah.
It's
And
a
because,
win-win. And when
but
it's oh, I sorry, I'll just say one more thing. If you're buying a brand that is so well made secondhand, it's still going to be in great shape.
yes. Yeah, because that's the thing. We can buy stuff from Target and Old Navy, and I think Target and Old Navy have a place, but that's not going to be stuff you're going to still wear in 5 years, probably.
Nope.
Like, you're going to wear that stuff
Nope.
for a season or two, and then it's probably not going to be holding up very well.
Right. Just like those pants I shared in style school yesterday. They are very trendy right now, right? And I will maybe wear them for a season or two. and I probably will be over them, but they're $25,
Yeah.
right? So yeah, I think it's about having a healthy mix of things that are going to stay in your closet for the long haul, and then sprinkling in things that are a little bit more trendy that you're not, breaking the bank on.
Yeah. I'd love to know your hot take on a current trend that you wish more people would jump on. Like your clients, people that you're talking to that you're like, no, this is great. You should do this. That like people are like, I don't know about that.
Hmm. Let me think
Like you
about
shared
that.
some metallic loafers in style school the other day that I was like,
I
I don't
did.
know about
I
this.
know a lot of, it's funny. One person chimed in. Everybody, I think I made everybody a little nervous. I think I made everybody like take a step back. I did put some metallic loafers in there. So I will say I'm going to talk about loafers, and I'm going to talk about the wide leg pleated pants. So loafers, just on the whole, I think they're sticking around for a little while. And I will tell you, I probably shy away from them a little bit because they're very specific. They are a very specific style. I think they are doing a better job. Retailers are doing a better job of like trying to make them a little bit more mainstream. So they're like a little less in your face. But the silver metallic loafers that I shared in style school, because I'm considering putting them in the fall capsule. Here's what I like about them. One, I've tried them on and they are so comfortable. But a metallic shoe is a neutral.
Mm-hmm.
It can go with everything. And I love metallics for that reason because they add a little flair, but they're not, you can wear them with every color. And
Mm-hmm.
so I really like metallic shoes when you're trying to dress up, right? Like I'm not talking about, I mean, I do love a metallic sneaker. Yes. But
Yes.
if you're trying to be a little bit more professional, they're a fun way to add some flair. And I like the square toe. I think it's just kind of fun. And I think we're going to start seeing a good amount of square toes all over the place. So
Yeah.
that's one. I also really like the loafer mules, the flat mules, quite a bit more. I'm warming up to them. So
Oh my God.
I think they're worth trying. And I will talk a little bit about the pleated pants are all over the place right now, especially like a wide leg pleated pant that we're seeing a lot of women wear with sneakers in the workplace. And then also you can throw in some heels, which I think is fun. That being said, Ruthie knows this. I have literally tried on so many pairs of them because they're not easy to wear. They can look like a trash bag. They can look like a balloon. They can look like I just added 10 pounds to my waistline. So you have to be really careful when you're doing trendy things like that, and trying to make it work. So having somebody who is doing that kind of background like check for you, I think is really helpful because they are not all created equal and the price points are all over the place. But I do think it's a fun way to get a little bit more like workplace professional without wearing like a full suit.
Mm-hmm.
And throwing in the sneakers, I think is really fun, especially for fall and winter. Um, Very comfortable and worth dipping your toe in.
Well, it's interesting that you were saying that like they can go wrong because I think that's always been like my assumption about pleated pants is like, but that just like makes your waist look larger, but it's all
Hmm.
in like where it hits your waist and the material, and one that might work on my body works differently on somebody else's body.
Absolutely. And it's like what you really need to pay attention to when you're trying on pleated pants is how the pleats drape.
Mm-hmm.
Because, well, another plug for Spanx. Spanx has amazing, amazing wide leg pleated pants that literally just fall like a just a waterfall on your body, and they actually just like elongate your leg. So I was trying to mimic that, and it's not easy to do because Sarah's a genius.
Yeah.
And other people do not do it as well as she does.
Yeah. And you do with clothes, not all the time, but a lot of times you do get what you pay for. And
Yep.
when it comes to tailoring and the way things are cut and the way things they're sewn, yes.
And the fabrics.
And
The
the
fabrics.
material that they use, all
Oh my
that
goodness.
stuff.
That's the other thing. I mean, some
Yeah,
of these material, yeah, you got to pay attention to those things. So it can be, you can go down the rabbit hole and it
yeah,
can be so time consuming.
for sure. Are there any trends that you're seeing a lot with your clients, women our age, that you're like, it's time to let that one go?
I really think it's time to let go of wearing the tank top, the layered tank top underneath another like t-shirt or blouse, where it like the little form-fitting tank top has it like peeks out underneath your shirt. So you
Mhm.
can see like the white tank coming out
Mhm.
underneath the top that you're wearing. A lot of like that was in for I don't know when that was, probably 10 years ago maybe,
Mhm.
and I think a lot of women got used to wearing it because it almost felt like shapewear a little bit,
Yeah.
like I got something on underneath that's sort of smoothing things out, but like what it does is it one, it's adding bulk to your clothes, and two, it's literally drawing the eye to the big part of your body,
Mhm.
which is because a lot of women are carrying weight around their middle. So when you're putting on a tank top underneath your clothes and it's like, hello, big white rubber band around my stomach, like I think that needs to go. Um, I'm close to breaking up with skinny jeans.
Interesting, because that was the one I was going to ask about. Is it still okay to wear skinny jeans?
It's still okay, but I think we're all probably, it's time for a break.
Mhm.
Um, and I do think with skinny jeans, and a lot of women probably don't pay attention to this, sometimes when it can end up looking like an inverted triangle. So
Mhm.
like it almost looks like you're balancing on this tiny point where your ankles and your feet are when you're wearing skinny jeans, and it's disproportionate to what's happening with the rest of your body, and it can be
Mhm.
very unflattering if you don't balance the top half of your body out. And a lot we people just don't know to do that,
Mhm.
right? They don't know how to create the balance in the outfit. So I think a straight leg jean is easier to create, that it provides a better, more proportionate silhouette all around. Even if you're not into the wide leg or, the flares or the boot cuts that are coming back, toying with a straight leg, you'll probably find like if you put a side by side of yourself in skinny jeans and the straight leg, you might be surprised at how different your body looks.
And that is one of the like best tips I ever learned from you, is that when you're shopping, to have somebody take a picture of you in the outfit and then compare the two pictures, because you put them on and you just look in the mirror, like you don't even remember what the last one looked like.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, the side by side, and you can even do selfies. Take a picture. I do this all the time of myself when I'm trying to decide what looks right or which one looks better. I just did this with the shorts, which I was floored. I was floored by the shorts side by side. Um, it just like it obvious when you see a side by side picture of yourself, which one looks better on your body, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. I love it. All right. Well, you and I both mom life. We got kiddos coming in and out needing us. So I
Yeah.
got like a couple of rapid fire questions to wrap us up. My first question is, what are you currently like watching, binging? What's your show right now that you would recommend?
I love this the summer I turned pretty. I am like obsessed with that show. And it is like teeny bopper. It's about high school kids, right? And I'm like I love that show. And I also really like And Just Like That. I'm just a diehard Sex and the City fan, and I know not everybody loves the storylines and how the characters have changed and evolved over the years, but I love Carrie Bradshaw. I mean, she's my fave.
Yeah, I
So
have
I'm
not
binging.
watched either one of those, but that sounds like good things to layer into
Oh my
my
God.
rotation. I just finished watching the documentary about Johnny Manziel, Johnny Football. I don't even
Oh,
remember like exactly what it's called. It's like new on Netflix, and it was
okay.
really really good. I love a sports documentary,
Me too.
and so it was really good, and like surprising ending in that like it doesn't resolve maybe the way you hoped it would.
Oh,
So yeah,
oh,
it was
good
really
to
interesting.
know.
All right. What is a snack that you're currently loving? What's like your go-to snack?
I have recently, I shouldn't say recently, restarted eating Perfect bars.
I love
Do you
those.
know those? One of my boys really loves them and he eats them all the time. And they have a disproportionately large amount of protein in comparison to some of the other bars. And I love peanut butter. So I have been eating a lot of Perfect bars lately.
Do you like them cold just out of the refrigerator or
Yep.
softer?
I like them cold.
Oh, see, I don't. My husband likes them cold too. And I'm like, no, it's got to sit on the counter for a few minutes. I can't eat it right away.
But I'll eat them any way I can because it's like efficient. It's efficient.
Yes, they really are. All right. What is your go-to current adult beverage and non-adult beverage?
Oh, I have been trying really hard to like branch out of wine. I really, really like wine, but it started to not like my body so much as I have gotten older. Even like the clean ones don't love my body so much, which is super annoying. So I'm deep into spicy margaritas.
Oh, fun.
And I'm trying to teach myself how to make really good ones at home.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the problem with cocktails is you have to like do something. Wine, you just have to like pour
Open
it
it.
into a glass and
Yes.
then it's done. So yeah, I'm trying to figure that out to see if I can make it easy.
Yeah. And cocktails, it's
Oh,
hard sometimes to make like just one. Like it's easier to make a batch, but it's like, I don't need to drink four. Like,
right, right. I'm failing on that mission right now. Non-adult beverage, I really like Elements. If you're not familiar with that hydration, it's a hydrator, but it has salt, which is like a
mm,
big thing on the hydration front. Like if you're not getting a right amount of salt in your body, and it is so delicious. It's like sweet, salty. It's almost margarita-like, and they have a bunch of different flavors, but it's literally the letters LMNT, element.
yeah.
So delicious.
Yes, that's awesome. I the big hydration drink that's happening. I don't know if your boys are into this Prime. It's
Oh no,
like
I know the kids love it.
yes, as Noah is like behind me dancing to the Prime song. It was like a YouTube short or a TikTok was like this video and like a
Oh,
kid singing, "We got Prime, boys. We got Prime." And it like made
oh,
it go viral. And so
oh
all the
my
kids
gosh,
know it from that. Like, and it's actually
that is
pretty
so
good.
funny.
It's like a hydration drink and it's got coconut water in it. I don't know.
Oh,
It's not bad. It's not the one in the can. So don't people come at me and say that I'm giving my kid an energy drink. The ones in the cans are
in the
energy drinks.
bottles.
In the
Yeah,
bottle is just like a Gatorade.
coconut water.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
Okay. And then the last place you traveled that you loved that people need to visit.
Oh, so I live in Colorado, so we spent a lot of time kind of going on Colorado trips, but I will say we go to mountain towns a lot, but we have two favorites. Telluride is one of them, and it is not an easy place to get to, but it is bar none one of the most beautiful places you'll ever see in your entire life. And it's just a super cool town. They have great food, great activities, great shopping, and you can, once you get there, you never need a vehicle. It's amazing. So
Yes.
I would plug Telluride and Vail. If you've never been to Vail, same kind of situation, just a different vibe. Telluride is much more laid back.
Okay. Very good to know. Awesome. Well, Jenny, this was so much fun. I love Unfiltered
So fun.
Fridays. If people want to connect with you, learn more about Style School, where can they find you online?
You can go to jennyzook.com or you can find me on Instagram. Just type in Jenny Zook, but you'll find Style Confidence attached to my name and all kinds of goodness there too. It's
Yay!
so
Love it.
fun.
We'll link all that in the show notes too.
All right.
See ya.
Bye.